Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
You know what's wild? The Mets just cannot stop themselves from picking up former Yankees players. It's like clockwork at this point. They just claimed Ben Rortvedt off waivers, and honestly, this move tells you everything you need to know about where this guy's career is at right now. Let me paint you a picture. Rortvedt has been designated for assignment 3 times this offseason. 3 times. He's bounced from the Dodgers to the Reds, back to the Dodgers, and now he's landed with the Mets. That's not exactly the resume of a hot commodity in baseball. But here's the thing. The Mets need bodies, and Rortvedt is a body that can catch a baseball. Now, if you remember back to 2022, Rortvedt came to the Yankees in that massive trade with the Twins. You know the one. Gary Sanchez, Josh Donaldson, Gio Urshela, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, all switching sides. Rortvedt was basically the throw-in, the afterthought, the guy nobody was really talking about. And honestly, that's still pretty much where he is today. Since he made his debut in 2021, Rortvedt has played in just 227 major league games. That's not a lot. And when you look at his numbers, it gets even rougher. The guy is a lifetime .190 hitter. .190. That's not a typo. In today's game where everyone's talking about launch angle and exit velocity and all these advanced metrics, this dude is hitting below the Mendoza line for his career. But here's where it gets interesting. The Mets aren't stupid. They know exactly what they're getting here. This is a 28-year-old journeyman who has no minor league options left. That means he has to stay on the big league roster or get exposed to waivers. It's a precarious position to be in as a player, and it limits what teams can do with you. So why did the Mets make this move? Simple. They need catching depth, and they need it badly. Francisco Alvarez is their guy behind the plate. Luis Torrens is backing him up. But what happens if something goes wrong? What happens if there's an injury or someone needs rest? Last year, the Mets rolled into opening day with Hayden Senger on the roster. If you know anything about organizational depth, you understand that's not ideal. Rortvedt is insurance. Pure and simple. He's a warm body who knows how to play the position at the major league level, even if he can't hit his way out of a paper bag. And defensively, he's actually been solid in past seasons. The guy can frame pitches, he can manage a pitching staff, and he's not going to embarrass himself back there. For a team that's trying to compete, having that kind of stability matters. The timing of this also makes sense when you consider the World Baseball Classic situation. Torrens is expected to head off to the WBC, which means the Mets will be down a catcher for a bit during spring training. Rortvedt can fill in those gaps. He'll probably spend most of his time down in St. Lucie getting extra work, staying ready in case they need him. Here's the reality, though. When the season actually starts, there's a real possibility the Mets don't even need to carry both Rortvedt and Austin Barnes. They've got Kevin Parada and Senger expected to be the catching tandem in AAA Syracuse. So what happens then? Rortvedt probably gets designated for assignment again. Maybe he clears waivers this time. Maybe another team takes a flyer on him. The cycle continues. This whole situation is just baseball in its purest form. Teams need depth. Players need opportunities. Sometimes those two things align for a brief moment, and everybody benefits. But nobody's pretending this is anything more than what it is, a roster move to fill a temporary need. The Mets moved Dedniel Nunez to the 60-day injured list to make room for this. That's the transaction that made it all possible. And honestly, replacing a pitcher with a catcher makes sense when your catching depth is as thin as theirs was. Look, Ben Rortvedt isn't going to be the difference between the Mets making the playoffs or staying home in October, but he might be the difference between having a competent backup option in an emergency versus scrambling to sign someone off the street. And in baseball, those little details can matter more than you think.